from the year 1999 until the year 2003, my wife and I lived in Crimea. That is at the southernmost tip of the country of Ukraine. About 4.5 years. During that time, we learned to speak the Russian language. Так что я свободно могу разговаривать на русском языке. So I'm able to speak freely in the Russian language. Now here is what I want to talk to you about. You remember we had a session about the isiZulu phrase isiZulu asitolikwa. isiZulu cannot be translated. Now here's something interesting. The word tolika, we said, means to interpret something. Some use it to mean when they use it as to translate something. isiZulu cannot be translated. Now listen to the word tolika, okay? The word tolika, which comes from the Afrikaans Tolk, okay? This same word is also used in the Russian language, and it seems as if it came into the Russian language via the Dutch language, which is a longer story. Peter I imported the art of building ships from the Netherlands to Russia and St. Petersburg, okay? And in this way, lots of terminology, especially related to the building of ships, entered into the Russian language. Very interestingly, you see, new technology, new words. And so Dutch words were incorporated into Russia. You remember we spoke earlier about technology, isiZulu speakers getting to know new technology here in South Africa, and the words attached to the technology sometimes would enter with the new technology into the isiZulu language. So there's an interesting similarity. But the following expression is a Russian expression, okay? And now remember the word tolika from the Afrikaans word Tolk. The Russian expression is нет, толка нет, толка нет. And the meaning of this is there's no meaning. Толка нет, it's useless. There is no meaning. Толка нет. Нет is there isn't, it's the word for no, and толка is when you negate, when you speak in the negative about this verb tolk, meaning. Толка нет, there is no meaning. Okay, so that's something interesting. In the Russian language, the expression нет, нет, толка нет. No, there's no use in doing this. There's no meaning in this. Okay, so the same word tolk was adopted into the Russian language, but then also into the isiZulu language. There's an interesting parallel there. Couple of things that you might find interesting. This is not related to language, but more about the way in which Russian people view Africa. Generally speaking, Russian people are very curious about Africa. They really like Africa, the people. They are interested in the people from Africa. They have a couple of stereotypes. And not negative stereotypes. They have a certain way of thinking and talking about Africa. I remember when we were there, they would ask us questions like, "А у вас бананы много? Do you have lots of bananas there in Africa?" So for some reason, when you meet Russian people, they like asking this question, "У вас бананы много в Африке? Do you have lots of bananas in Africa?" There's also this figure. Before I get to the figure that I'm wanting to talk to you about, they are also fascinated with the word Limpopo, because the word popo in the Russian language means something else. Okay, so they're very curious. They will ask you, но действительно так, что есть там место у вас в Южной Африке, которое называется Limpopo? Is it true that there is really a place in South Africa called Limpopo? Okay, so that's what we found. Many people would ask us that, and then we would say, no, вот да, есть место, которое называется Limpopo, и там река тоже есть. And then we would say, yes, There is a place called Limpopo, and there's also a river called Limpopo, and then they would find that very amusing. Now, the figure I was wanting to talk to you about actually comes from the fairy tales and from poems written by Alexander Pushkin, if I remember correctly, about a figure, a certain personality that is associated with Africa. Okay, this interesting personality called Barmaley. Okay, Barmaley. If you speak to Russian people, ask them about Barmaley, and they will tell you. They know about Barmaley, and Barmaley is this comical, mythical figure in the poems that Russian people read about, and he is from Africa. And ask friends if you have who are Russian about Barmaley. So, just in short, some interesting things about the way that Russian people think about the African continent. What is the Russian expression? Толка нет. No, there's no use in doing this. There's no meaning in this. Толка нет. Ja, bonk.